If your garage space doesn't have a well-insulated, snug-fitting garage door, your efforts to heat and cool will be less than successful. It can also have an impact upon the temperature of adjacent spaces and make it difficult to heat or cool. Joining us now is Scott Wennemar from Overhead Door Company of Cedar Rapids in Iowa City to talk about making the best choices when selecting a garage door. Scott, thanks for joining us. Talk about the best reasons for selecting a energy efficient garage door.
Your heating and cooling is in the garage or outside. You're trying to keep the cold out and basically keep your garage door or your garage warm through the winter months. It's easier on your car and all your equipment in there.
What are some of the things that you look at that we look at on the garage door here?
Well, your seals here, your seals on the side and on the bottom across the top are very crucial, right? So you need to update them and keep them new whenever they get cracked or torn or an animal chews on them.
Okay. What about insulation? How does that play in terms?
You have 3 different insulations. You've got basically you've got a polystyrene, which is styrofoam. Doesn't always fill all the gaps, so you lose some of your insulation around that edge. And then you kind of jump to a R12.76 R13 door, which is filled. So it fills all. It's hot, mold injected, so you have no air gaps basically. It's stuck to the steel, and then it jumps to a 2-inch thick polyurethane. So again, hot, mold injected, stuck to the steel front, steel back.
And we can look at that, Scott, and we can see, I mean, that's very tightly sealed. No air is getting through that, right? And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
With garage doors, I know also what you have 2 rating systems. You mentioned the R value, which we're familiar with. Talk to us about that.
You have a U value also, which is the heat transfer through the panel. And then you have the R value, which is the styrofoam or the urethane that it fills the void. As
you look at a garage door, I imagine that R value can go from what, as small as what, an R4, or you're going up to what?
They start non-insulated where you don't have anything,
okay, and
go all the way to a R30, 28 or R32.
Okay, so insulation can play a big factor in that. I'm also looking here at a couple. What about windows?
Windows you have an 1/8-inch window that's non-insulated, which is non-insulated, or it goes clear to 1/2 inch, which has a gas and 2 panes, basically, and the gas trapped in the middle.
Aesthetics, as we look at it, many choices, Scott?
So you got a courtyard style here. You know, it looks like a barn door, and it will give you, you have all kinds of options to match any kind of barn style look or updated house, and then, you have a true wood door here, which has maintenance. You got maintenance. You got to stain them every 3 to 5 years, depending on what stain you're using, because they deteriorate, okay, just like wood.
But give us some options, and I know there's some more that we can take a look at.
Yeah. This is a panel look door, and we've got down to different colors. So it's still an R 12.76 door, okay, urethane.
All right. Kind of the plank here. Is that a newer look?
Yes, it's relatively new.
Hardware?
Hardware, we've got some magnetic hardware.
Okay, all right.
So
a little different.
There's little magnets on it.
Okay.
And it just keeps from having to stick a hole in the door so you don't have moisture.
Sure.
No intake for moisture to get into the
no
section.
holes. That's an interesting look. Let's go over to the technical and our openers. How are those changing over?
So this is just an AC chain drive motor, a little noisier, and the chain drive motor's been around for a long time.
Okay.
So
kind of the traditional that we've become used to it, and it's a bit noisy.
Yes, quite a bit noisy.
All right,
and then you've gone to the DC drive, which is belt drive, quiet. LED light, you can get LED lights on them.
Noticeably quieter from the chain. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that there's something in terms of an app for my phone.
Yeah, you can have an app that'll operate your door when you're not in the state, or if you're at work and you want to let somebody in that you don't want to give your garage door code out to, you could let them in. A lot of the new ones have cameras, so you can see who's coming and going. So all done off of your app. You can close it and set it up to close at 10:30 at night. The thing closes, so if you forget it, you'll hear it beeping and then it'll close.
You know, a lot of options here. I know I could go to a big box store, home improvement store, and get a garage door, but is this a DIY project, or am I better off leaving it to you, to the professionals?
I would leave it to us. You know, the springs are dangerous. You've got different things that need to be set right to be able to make it function right. And then, you know, we cover the warranty. You can call us and we can start at the beginning and put the garage door how you want it, colors, sizes, windows.
Our viewers on PowerHouse are always interested, Scott, in terms of the expense. I'm thinking about a new garage door, an investment in my garage, my home. Ballpark it a little bit what we're looking at, from a basic to maybe a little more extravagant.
Your non-insulated doors are going to be, you know, basically $2,500, and you're going to run up to your insulated doors can be $4,500 and more.
Scott, you've given us a lot of great information and some options in terms of thinking about a new garage door for our house. Thank you very much. And if you'd like even more information about making your garage more energy efficient, visit PowerHouseTV.com or AlliantEnergy.com.